Do any of you know how to hotwire a car?
All over the city, tracking their every move. If this was nighttime, we'd have more options. The daytime entry to the Kreisau Resistance headquarters is no easy feat. Not that anyone's ever tried one before. Skies are empty for now. Lucky for us. Well, I'd rather die in the fresh air than in that damn prison. Right, you be on the alert now. This is a two-parter. First, we need to hit that blind spot precisely dead on. You in position? Now! Go, go, go! As long as we stay in this here mist, no one will see us. Right, this is the second part. We're jumping. Don't hesitate, just do it. As soon as you hit the water, you're gonna hold your breath and swim after me. Whatever you do, stay under the water. You break the surface, we're all dead. There are Nazis fucking everywhere. Now don't think about it, just jump! Talk, damn it! This is your new home.
William. Hold me, I'm freezing.
Max! Oh, Mr. Max.
Put him down, Max. Gently.
Please, Captain. This is close. He's on our side. Used to be a Nazi, but not anymore.
How is this possible? We're in the very center of Berlin. You're hiding in a plain sight.
It's the last place they would look out.
Will they not hear us?
Best to keep your voice down then, yeah?
Fuck me. B.J. Blazkowicz. I should have known only you would be dumb enough to do a daytime entry.
The lady.
Glad to have you back, Fergus.
Caroline, you're alive.
If you call shitting in a bag living, 3 pulverized vertebrae. You?
Head trauma, 4 inches of cast iron shrapnel right in the conch. Still in there.
Severed colon, septic shock, shattered pelvis.
Memory loss, flashbacks, 14 years in a loony bin.
Good to see you, William. So, what can you do?
What are you doing here?
Pleased to see you too, Tekla.
You're supposed to be dead, Fergus Reed. You've been gone for 3 months. This stupid anomaly. People don't come back from Eisenwald. And you, long since off the books. I've heard stories about you. I was told you died in 1946. Misinformation, always. You, I don't even know who you are. We're variable. Well, none of this has been accounted for. I will have to revise my whole model. Thank you very much.
I am hearing interesting things out of London. I have a folder marked Project Whisper, but someone has borrowed it. Klaus, I believe it was. Can you find it and bring it to me, would you please, Captain? Now that you are here, I think we can do great things. Why don't you sit with me, Miss Anya? Listen in on these frequencies. Anything out of London, make a note of the time and write down as much as you can. Here is pen and paper.
Can I do typewriter?
You know how to type.
Yes. My parents thought I should learn.
Ah, for you to take dictation, prescriptions and such.
Not really. It was useful during my time at the University of London for my doctorate in archaeology. Then the Blitz came and I had to go back home. I was only 16.
Well, Doctor, please assist me in figuring out what these damn Nazis are up to. You can find Klaus on the second floor. He should have the folder for Project Whisper.
Leave me alone, all right? I don't know you, and I'm not looking to make friends.
Moscow in Flames. Stockholm, March 16, 1945. The Red Army were forced to retreat last night from a Moscow engulfed by flames following a week-long German bomb raid. The barrage of mortar fire heard throughout the night and well into early Thursday morning seems to have obliterated what was left of the inner parts of the city. As of yet, there has been no word on the whereabouts of either Joseph Stalin or his high command.
Are you deaf? I'm busy. Fuck off.
Jerk.
Royal Air Force down, but not out. Liverpool, June 25, 1945. The Royal Air Force suffered a major defeat yesterday at the Battle over Liverpool. Though major losses were reported on both sides, the RAF were forced to retreat after losing more than two-thirds of their fighters. But even when faced with overwhelming odds, our brave boys in the skies continue to fight for king and country. This fighting spirit may be what constitutes the very essence of Englishness. Us Englishmen, we fight until the very end, said a corner shop owner trying to put out a fire raging inside St. Luke's Church. And I'll be damned if I will let some Jerry come here and tell us what to do. Was this man channeling the spirit of RAF pilot Jameson? Jameson, who was shot down above Liverpool yesterday, burst out of his burning wreckage, his body on fire and armed only with a pistol, and killed 4 German paratroopers before finally succumbing himself. Even as the enemy stands at our doorstep, the RAF will go to hell and back to kick them out of England. Jolly good, boys. The Reds surrender. Moscow, December 12, 1946. The cold Russian winter bites hard, but one could not tell looking at the rosy smiling faces of the victorious German army and the liberated Russian people. The last battle against the Red Army took place in Izevsk, following their month-long campaign to seize the Russian capital. A campaign which, after numerous setbacks and hundreds of civilian casualties, caused the Russian people to turn against their own army. With nightly bomb raids by the German Air Force on the Red Army's military factories in the Euro region, it was merely a matter of time before the Russian forces would start to lose their morale. The murderous tyrant Joseph Stalin is yet to be found, but there are rumors circulating that he may have been assassinated by his own men. Regime crosses the Atlantic. Vancouver, January 3rd, 1947. Earlier this week, a German submarine was sunk in the Cabot Strait, just a few miles off the coast of Cape North. Today, hundreds of ships crossed the Atlantic and the first German troops set foot upon Canadian soil. Now is the time to be brave, said the Prime Minister in an emergency radio broadcast. It's now or never. Our boys at the front line need your support to defend our homeland, to defend our freedom. Triumph in the East, Berlin, April 4, 1947. It was a devastating defeat for the Red Army when the German flag was raised on the western side of the river Volga this morning. In a statement to our reporter on site, Field Marshal Friedrich Ritter said that the victory is not only thanks to our hard-working and dedicated troops, but also the result of a new weapon that was deployed for the first time in battle. The Panzerhund is a mechanical autonomous beast of war that cannot feel fear and cannot feel remorse. It is the purest form of killing machine, and it will tear the Russians apart, limb by limb. Finally, the British tyranny comes to an end. London, June 21, 1948. As if blessed by the sun, the German flag hung high this morning over Buckingham Palace to mark the end of a tyrannical monarchy which has plagued the English people for centuries. Field Marshal Gerolf Feigenbaum, who led the British invasion, cautioned that armed resistance is to be expected, but the majority of the British people will soon realize how they have been fooled by the British government's warmongering leaders. Following the surrender, the whole of the Commonwealth now falls under German rule, and the remaining armies have been ordered to stand down. Victory in Asia, Berlin, July 8, 1948. Early Monday morning, a special assault team launched an attack on the last stronghold of the People's Liberation Army. Within hours, the Republic of China surrendered unconditionally. Experts commented that the Japanese government now have no choice but to give up their territorial claims in Asia. Sources close to Field Marshal claim that a plan is being drawn up for both China and Japan, which will transition the two countries into servant states with separate governments and military. These states will, of course, be supremely governed by the superior German Empire.
I need that photo, Cap.
Last Light in England, Paris, September 17, 1951. The stalwart resistance of the brave people of London has been quelled, claimed sources inside London. After the August uprising, which had seemed like a turning point for the resistance fighters, the German tyrants unleashed their latest machine of oppression, a monstrous thing called the London Monitor. Eyewitness reports describe the fight as a massacre, with cobblestone streets drenched in the blood of the brave resistance fighters, crushed or gunned down by the giant machine. German elite combat units then proceeded to move from block to block, systematically taking out the last remnants of the freedom fighters.
And see if you can find it. It's called Project Whisper. Talk to Klaus.
Extra. Prisoners escape Eisenwald. Berlin, October 13, 1960. Early morning, a small group of prisoners escaped from Eisenwald prison. The prisoners were described by the police as highly dangerous murderers, rapists, and degenerates. They advised the public to stay alert for people displaying deviant behavior and report anything that may help them track down these individuals.
I heard you were looking for the Project Whisper folder. It's not here, obviously.
stöhnt die ganze Zeit nach dem Hammer. Hast du ihn gesehen?
Megtos!
B.J. Blazkowicz, 1960. After spending the last 14 years in a vegetative state, B.J. comes back to a world ruled by the Nazis. But there's still hope. Hidden away in the center of Berlin is a small resistance group led by B.J.'s old friend Carolyn Becker. B.J. joins the group, hoping that together they can liberate the world from the Nazis.
This room looks empty. Maybe we could sleep in here. Could use some shut-eye. You know about before, going off on you like that's a force of habit.
No worries, Johnny Cowboy. It's not the first time it happens.
Yeah, perhaps you should consider removing them tattoos.
I will, in time. I was, as you Americans say, all wet when I got them, and I'm sorry to say it was a very proud moment of my life. I want removing them to be an even prouder moment. No more Nazis, no more tattoos.
So long as you don't get in the way of me killing Nazis, we'll see eye to eye. Caroline's looking for a document folder, Project Whisper.
Max doesn't speak English very well, but he does know Project Whisper. It's a risky business operation. He knows it will cost us to pull it out. Max doesn't like violence. He doesn't want to see anyone get hurt. Alles in Ordnung, mein Sohn. Wir werden für dich kämpfen.
Caroline said you borrowed the folder. Do you have it here?
I did take it 2 days ago, but I put it back. Go to the ground floor. The folder should be in the drawer in a desk in her room, where I left it. Make a looky-loo in Caroline's room. The folder should be inside a desk.
Thank you.
Hey! It's not in there. Already looked. Anyway, I forgot to tell you. Try and not speak about Project Whisper when Max is around. He heard us discussing the plans for it, and it really upsets him.
A toy. What's it doing in Caroline's room?
I've been wondering, would it be possible for you to give me some firearms training?
You think you can handle killing a man, Anya? Takes a very special mindset to kill a man, Anya. Even if he is a Nazi. I'm not sure you have it in you, but...
That seems to be in order. Must be Max's room.
Bloody fuck, Blazkowicz, I'm knackered. I haven't seen a real bed in months. Fuck off for a minute so I can sleep, right? Wake me if, let's say, the sky's about to fall or some sort of shite. Fuck it, just go away.
America loses naval supremacy. Tokyo, August 20, 1946. The Americans are on their knees, Field Marshal Franz Gustav Byers told the gathered reporters during today's press conference. The superior German submarine fleet, accompanied by its loyal Japanese allies, has helped Germany achieve a major victory in the Pacific, with more than half of the American fleet destroyed at the Battle of Leyte Gulf alone. Japan pushed back. Another threat approaches. Chongqing, March 7, 1948. It was a proud moment for the Republic of China and the People's Liberation Army as the Japanese were pushed back into the Über province. Yet from the north, another dark menace approaches at a swift pace. The German army has overthrown the brave Russian Empire and is now moving towards China. During a rousing speech earlier today, the chairman spoke of his faith in the Chinese people. A unified China cannot be defeated, he said. A unified China cannot be conquered. A unified China will never surrender. Atomic bomb hits America. Paris, December 21, 1948. The largest bomb ever invented was dropped 13 hours ago on New York City, largely decimating Manhattan and killing over 200,000 people. It is an atomic bomb, said our great leader in a radio broadcast speech to the public, 20,000 times more powerful than the biggest bomb ever created before. But more than a bomb, this is a warning to the American people. America surrenders. Washington, December 24, 1948. Speaking to the American people in the falling snow on Christmas Eve, the President of the United States declared the government's total surrender to the German army. The announcement comes just days after the atomic bomb was dropped on New York. This final act of violence may have saved millions of lives that would have resulted from a land invasion of America, said the German leader in a press statement following the announcement. I applaud the President for taking such a brave decision. After the President's speech, a spectacular show was put on by the invading troops parading down the streets of Washington to the roaring sound of German jet fighters passing by overhead. Even more spectacular were the massive mechanical beasts known as Panzerhunden, or armored dogs, hulking over the crowds. America rises from the ashes. The American spirit rises in the shadow of the mushroom-shaped cloud that was produced by Germany's evil atom bomb when it hit New York. Cells of freedom fighters have assembled across the country and are taking up arms. Through targeted attacks on German VIPs and bombings of crucial military installations, the American resistance is making it very difficult for the invaders to remain in control. Reports claim that the German invaders have become so desperate they are shipping elite anti-rebel units from China to prevent the insurrection from spreading. Eyewitness accounts also describe mass executions of civilians as punishment for attacks performed by the freedom fighters. The liberation of America has begun. Washington, January 7, 1949. The honorable German peace troops embarked on a nationwide victory tour this week. The goal of this operation is to liberate the oppressed American people and protect them from dangerous insurgent elements. All remaining American military personnel are advised to stand down and report to the nearest German checkpoint. Once there, they will be issued a labor card, assigning them to work on rebuilding the country according to the superior cultural standards of the new regime. Editorial: Germany has betrayed us. Rome, October 13, 1949. And so we must face the bitter truth. We, the Italian people, have been fooled into thinking that our northern ally would be our country's salvation and a collaborator in rebuilding Italy to its former glory. Reports from the north are coming in describing German tanks and infantry turning against our soldiers and attacking our own people. Witnesses describe horrible scenes of whole villages burned and plundered. We are now just days away from a complete invasion, and our weak government is incapable of doing anything about it. I advise all Italians not to surrender. Do not bow down to the will of the invaders. Rise and take up arms. Do whatever you can to fight back the tyranny. Rise for freedom. Benevolent liberators guard China's borders. Shanghai, October 25, 1953. Thanks to the ingenuity of German engineers, the Great Wall of China has been reinforced and upgraded by our benevolent German liberators. Hundreds of powerful automatic flak cannons have been installed along the wall, guarding the airspace from any potential invaders from the Mongolian territories. Elite German troops have also been stationed from one end to the other to guard the border. This is a great act of generosity bestowed by our benevolent liberators, symbolically marking the beginning of a new era of peace in Asia. Editorial: Is the terror threat over? Berlin, October 13, 1960. A strange feeling of serenity comes over me as I walk my morning promenade along Unter den Linden. At first, I struggle to understand what this feeling comes from and why I haven't felt it for so long. And then it hits me. For the last 6 months, there has been no terrorist activity, no ruthless killing sprees against innocent civilians, no car bombs in peaceful neighborhoods, no suicide attacks on public transports. Has the secret police once and for all won the war against terrorism? Mold infestation in Berlin, London, May 15, 1953. It's fair to say there's some sort of poetic justice in this. Reports from our resistance friends in Berlin suggests that a new type of mold spore has started infesting structures made out of the superconcrete used by the regime. It has started festering in the massive underground ventilation system and is spreading throughout the city. Friends of the resistance, this could be a major advantage for us. The mold seems to corrode the stability of the concrete, making it easier to destroy structures that are important to the regime in Berlin. Mond, Mond, ja, ja. When Die Käfer was formed by 4 Englishmen from Liverpool in Nazi-controlled Great Britain, they were faced with a choice. Either start singing in German or face banning and detainment by the Nazi regime. Die Käfer chose to adapt to the times. They changed their name and learned how to sing in German. Currently, they are touring Europe to promote their latest Das blaue U-Boot album. Rumor has it that they lace their innocuous pop music with hidden codes which subvert the original meaning of the lyrics.
3, 2, 1. Der Mond schaut uns an und wir zurück. Der Mond ist über uns, wird uns gehört. Gestern die Welt und heute der Himmel. Denn uns gehört er und die Freiheit fliegt. Mond, Mond, ja, ja. Vereint wir sind unter dem großen Forscher. Mond, Mond, ja, ja. Heute gehört uns die Galaxie. Vorwärts, Brüder, unser Mond ist rot. Wir werden den kleinen Fels erobern. Wir sind diejenigen, die den Himmel beherrschen. Wir sind die Größten im Universum. Mond, Mond, ja, ja. Vereint, wir sind unter dem großen Forscher. Mond, Mond, ja, ja. Heute gehört uns die Galaxie. Mond, ja, ja. Vereint, wir sind unter dem großen Forscher. Mond, Mond, ja, ja. Heute gehört uns die Galaxie. Mond, Mond, ja, ja. Vereint, wir sind unter dem großen Forscher. Mond, Mond, ja, ja. Denn heute gehört uns die Galaxie.
Dreaming. Strange dream. The killing never stops. Till I die.
Where am I? It's all a blurry haze. Think I need to get out of this place.